In this video, I am going to give you a little bit of an introduction to interval notation. I know this can be a tricky one, so we're going to look at 4 different cases. We're going to have x is less than 2. Let's see. X is less than or equal to 3. X is greater than 4. And x is greater than or equal to 5. Okay, first let's graph. So we're just going to do this one first. We'll call this number 1. So x is less than 2. We have our number line. So we're going to have an open circle at 2. The reason is because there's no equal sign. So we have an open circle at 2. X is less than 2, so that means x is all the numbers smaller than 2. So it's going to be going down this way. So basically what this means is any number that is smaller than 2 is a solution. Would 2 be a solution on this one? It would not, because it has to be less than 2. It's not including 2. Okay, so that's the graph of it. Now when we write this in interval notation, we always write the smaller number first and the bigger number second. This is going down forever, and so that means it's going to negative infinity, and that will be the smaller number. So we'll have negative infinity. It's going to come up to 2. Now, do we do a parenthesis or a bracket? Well, around infinity and negative infinity, you're always going to do a parenthesis. This is because you can't include infinity. You can't actually say, okay, this is infinity, because infinity goes on forever, and so it will just be a parenthesis. Now 2, will it be a parenthesis or bracket? Well, because it's not including 2, it's not equal to 2. Notice this one is an open circle, and so that tells us it will be a parenthesis. Again, it's not including 2, it just comes right up to 2. And so this would be the interval notation for this problem. Okay, so there's number 1. Number 2, this is similar, but it's less than, but notice it has an equal. So let's go ahead and graph this first. Okay, so we have 3. This time we're going to have a closed circle. That's because it's including 2. 3 would be considered a solution of this inequality. It's x is less than 3 though. It's less than or equal to, and so it's still going down. So this would be our graph. You may have seen it sometimes like this even. They'll have a bracket instead of a closed circle, but we'll use a closed circle. Now we need to write interval notation. So again, this is going down forever, and so it's the smallest number, or the least, is going to be negative infinity. You always want to write smallest to greatest. So negative infinity first. If you remember, around infinity and negative infinity, what do we always need to put? Well, that's always going to have the parenthesis because it's not including. It's going to go up to 3, and on this one, will we have the bracket or the parenthesis? Well, because it's a closed circle, it includes 3. That means 3 is a solution, so it has a bracket. I like to think of a bracket, it's exact, and so it comes exactly to 3. It actually includes that 3. So this would be the interval notation for that one. Okay, let's look at number 3. We have x is greater than 4. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it's not equal to 4, and so we're going to have an open circle on this one. But x's numbers that are bigger than 4, x is greater than 4, and so it's going to be going to the right. Okay, so that's our graph. Let's go ahead and write interval notation. So once again, with interval notation, we always write smallest to greatest. Well, what's the smallest number that's a solution here? It's going to be 4. Okay, the greatest is going to infinity, and so it's just going to be 4 up to infinity. We hopefully are knowing by now, infinity always has a parenthesis around it. Now because 4, it's not including 4, it's not equal to 4, and it's an open circle, is also going to have a parenthesis. Okay, so open circle means parenthesis, it's not including 4, it just starts right after 4 and then up to infinity for the solutions. So that would be the answer. Okay, let's look at this last one. So x is greater than or equal to 5. So because it's equal to, we're going to have a closed circle at 5. It's including 5. 5 is a solution to this inequality. It's got to be greater than 5. So x is greater, it's going up to infinity. So there's our graph. Okay, again, our interval notation, we start with the smaller number, which would be 5 in this case. This is the lower bound of the solution. Now, because it's equal to, what does that tell us? And it's a closed circle. Those both tell us we're going to have a bracket because 5 is included in the solution. It's going to go up to infinity. So we have 5 to infinity, or all solutions around infinity. Again, we're going to have a parenthesis. I hope this helps. If you're still feeling confused on interval notation, please reach out. I'm happy to help you or to make another video.